What is up, Scar Knight, bringing you a brand new Pokemon Sword and Shield breakdown analysis video. Now when it comes to this video right here, we're gonna cover two videos because I'm actually pretty behind, and yeah, it would pretty much cover this entire time span regardless, because these are rather pretty short trailers. Just like it reminded me back then with Sun and Moon when they announced brand new Pokemon pretty much. The last video I did was about the Sword and Shield controversy. If you want to get my input or my opinions or anything, click on the iCard, you know, just a little hintity hint on what I feel about the whole thing. Oh look, that's weird. Anyway, it's pretty 50-50, like I mentioned. I'm not really sure if I did well convincing on my side or if I didn't convince hard enough. I know I convinced one person, but then again, he kind of already felt that way. Regardless, without further ado, we are going to go look at the first trailer. And yeah, we're gonna go frame by frame. Not everything. If we already seen it, then I don't need to discuss it. So yeah. So straight off the bat, we already see that the jersey number is 7-8. And that's kind of the day where the trailer was released, and then that the whole stadium has a bunch of fireworks with a couple trainers just walking in the stadium. There's one of them that's already a little bit further ahead, one that kind of looks like, I almost called him How, no, it's Hop, a guy with green hair and a girl with hair to her side. So I'm under the assumption that it's not just anybody that can participate, it's people that are already signed up and recommended to be a part of this here type of gym challenge, because I don't know, everybody's registered and they have to compete to be in the Champions Cup pretty much, you know, since it's kind of represented like soccer. I also really like that the jerseys kind of look really soccer-esque. Like, that's definitely how it was in the World Cup, because I actually do watch the soccer World Cup, or football for you younger folks that don't know. The audience cheering, and then we see this one guy will be introduced in a second. His name is Chairman Rose. The thing about Chairman Rose is he has like a hexagon little pin on his jacket, and he also has like a earring that has a hexagon too. Or like, it's not just a hexagon, it's kind of like 3 hexagons in one. And he comes with an assistant, and yeah, he's pretty much the one that made this whole gym challenge thing, and I think he makes the recommendations or assignments. I'm not really sure what's the actual word on recruiting people to these challenges, but he does like this Pokeball toss where it kind of looks like it's kind of like the beginning of the game where we're all like, oh, this is a Pokemon or whatever. So if this is how the game starts, that's gonna be really cool and really different, because, you know, there's that Professor Oak one, and there's Professor Birch, and then there's Professor Rowan and Juniper twice, and I think X and Y was a favorite for a long time, up until, like, you know, Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, where they kind of did the whole Game Boy thing, which was pretty cool. Sun and Moon was alright, because it seemed more natural, because Rockruff kind of just popped them in the camera. It's like, oh, well, that's a Pokemon or whatever. But if it's like this, it's such a refreshing start, and it kind of makes it more impactful, because you see the audience in the background, and you go like, oh man, this is a Pokemon, and I'm gonna go through these challenges, and it's gonna be a lot more, you know, like I said, it's impactful. It's interesting what Pokemon he kind of sends out. I don't think it's a Pokemon that's been revealed yet, because it kind of has the shape of a giraffe almost. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a giraffe. I don't think it's like an elephant or anything like that, but it does have like interesting patterns, and it kind of does look like a giraffe rig. I don't know if they're actually gonna commit to doing a baby Pokemon again. I mean, more likely, sure, because there was rumors about Farfetch having an evolution, but we can't confirm that. It would be cool if Girafarig has more so an evolution, but I guess a baby evolution were to work. It's not the first time to do baby evolution and the last evolution. You know, that's like Roselia and Sneasel and so on. But we're introduced to the first Pokemon, which is Alcremia, which is a fairy type. The ability is Sweet Veil. Alcremia has something very interesting about her, which we'll introduce in a second. Which we see Alcremia right here in the battle. I wish I kind of knew my directions when it comes to this map, but they're in that area pretty much. She's doing, I forgot what that move's called. Or maybe it's not a move that we know because it has strawberries and like whipped cream and stuff. Because I thought it was going to be like play nice or something like that move. Unless that's just what it looks like now. And then there's the Pokemon of Me where there's like the musical notes that she's enjoying herself. And then finally we're introduced to Yamper. Even though we kind of already knew that was a thing since the whole gameplay thing. By the way, with the whole gameplay on the gym challenges, that's something that I also crossed my mind when we saw all those trainers. Is all like, well, if it really is registered, then how is it that I could just go in the gym? But no, you do have to sign up. But yeah, Yamper, electric type Pokemon, ball fetch ability, but we already know that. And we know that he's gonna have an evolution because of the shape of the way that sign was. Because the body proportions doesn't really add up. Anyway, he's also in the field. This looks like around the first town, judging by the hills in the background. He's doing tail whip a couple times. He's barking. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to it. This is Roly-Coly, which reminds me of, what's his face? Rock'n'Rolla. Yeah. Rock type with the steam engine ability, and it also has heat proof, which is a really cool Pokemon in my opinion. I like Roly-Coly. He's in the mines, of course, with all the crystals all around, which looks really cool. He's doing a rock throw, and well, I'm not really sure what this move is because the rock kind of falls down. It kind of reminds me of the X and Y cave where there's encounters where they just drop down. Or maybe it's just, nah, I was gonna say sky drop, but that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, another Pokemon that we've been introduced to is Duraludon. Duraludon. I can't say that. Steel Dragon type, light metal or heavy metal as the ability, which is interesting because those are pretty opposite if you ask me. And it is also interesting that Steel Dragon, it resembles a lot like Gigalith, which is really cool. But yeah, he's standing on the winter side. He's doing like a Focus Blast move almost. If it's not Focus Blast, then maybe it's like I don't think that's what Dragon Pulse looks like, but maybe it is Focus Blast. But yeah, the gym challenge. You see people cheering again, and hey, we see Rose again kind of cheering. It's like, my people, I'm here. We see Milo, and then we see Nessa. I don't think I did mention that Nessa has her number. I mean, obviously all the other trainers have their numbers, but I'm pretty sure I already covered Milo's number. He's never covered Nessa's because it's like below the bottom part of her shorts, I believe. And then there's Leon, which kind of interesting because he has like on his cape, it looks like a bunch of advertisement. Can't really pinpoint, but I could probably point it out in post. And then we see that first scene that he's introduced. But yeah, now they're telling us about Chairman Rose and Oleana, which was the secretary that I was talking about. I didn't know her name straight off the bat. But like I mentioned with Chairman Rose, he has like the whole 3 hexagon look on his pin and then his earring. And then for Oleana, she has hexagon hoop earrings and even that hexagon logo on her neck. We also see like a look of the new gym. It's not going to be the 3rd gym, I believe. This is a little bit late game. I'm willing to bet it's maybe 6th or maybe 7th gym. It's a fighting type gym. If we take a look right here, where this is the gym leader. And we see in the background there's like something right there that I will cover in a little bit. But either way, we see this one girl. Her name is Bia, with the number 193. I'm not really sure what depends on the number when it comes to her in general, but I don't know. And then there's this guy. which is Alistair, the ghost type expert, which I thought was a girl. I don't know. People are telling me that it's a male with the number 291 right there. He has a spooky, scary mask. And he also has like the 3 Pokeballs on the side, just like Milo. And a lot of people are also mentioning that Bia looks a lot like Nessa's model. Just, you know, obviously different. And then we see right here the whole major new gimmick besides Dynamax from Alcremia. You could also further that and make Gigantamax, change the size and appearance. So we had rumors about Gigantamaxing. I was aware of that. I didn't really know what that meant. Like, one the first thoughts that I thought of that was like, oh, they're just gonna make it more bigger than it already is. But I never thought that it actually would change its form, because Alcremia now is a gigantic cake with a whole bunch of layers. It looks pretty much like a wedding cake, you know? Alcremia is not the only Pokemon that could be Gigantamax though. It is also Dreadnought right here. I hope I'm remembering his name right. Which kind of looks more like a snapping turtle, like the ones that you would find on a swamp or something. And with these Gigantamax Pokemon, they'll actually have their own exclusive moves, I believe. I don't know if one has been explicitly said, but you know, there's also Corviknight Gigantamax form. To be honest, Corviknight pretty much looks the same, but that's alright because Corviknight already looks cool to begin with, so that's fine. And yeah, we see them one-on-one. They still have the 3 clouds, and they also had like the red mist on the ground. Corviknight's doing some type of tornado move. I'm not really sure what that move is called. That's probably Corviknight's Gigantamax signature move. And then I'm pretty sure that's Max Geyser that Dreadnought is doing on Gigantamax Corviknight. Now this matchup is kind of weird because it's Alcremia Dynamax versus Alcremia Gigantamax, and she's doing like some kind of meteor shower move. I'm not really sure, but it says right there, game footage in the video, not final. That's kind of weird. Anyway, that is the first trailer. I'm gonna go cover the... Alright, now let's go take a look at the next trailer, pretty much. Nothing different so far. We see like Bia again walking in a different pose. Some other stuff we already seen. Again, Alistair. I mean, at least with Alistair, I kind of like the ghost signature that they have. Like, I was kind of waiting for like the TCG to actually have their own logos rather than sharing them. Like, Grass and Bug shares the same type for grass when it comes to TCG, and normal and dragon for a long time did, up until dragon got their own thing. So it's about time, you know. And of course flying type also shares with the normal, but I'm getting off topic. Anyway, Galarian forms, that's the newest thing where they show off Galarian Wheezing, which is actually pretty fitting, you know, because they had like the whole grassy moss look, steam chimney type. Like, I kind of like the idea. They're pretty clever with it. This reminds me a lot of Finding Nemo, where the fish guts out and it has like green gunk all over them. So I like this. I don't know why they're so clever with the poison types. Like, they did the same thing with the Lowland Muck. I'm all like, how could you make it a little bit more better than just Muck, you know? But it turns out they can make it a lot better by just adding color and putting different shading, adding different stuff, and then boom. And Galarian Wheezing is now a poison / fairy type. The ability says levitate, and the other one is to be determined. It's question mark, question mark, question mark. If I were to guess, I mean, what's the regular one anyway? There was Steam Engine. I don't know what that ability does. I suppose I could look it up. Let me look it up right quick. Okay, so the ability Steam Engine that Roly-Coly has, when a Pokemon with Steam Engine is hit by a fire type or water type move, its speed stat is increased by 3 stages. Oh man. Maybe that'd be too broken for Wheezing, because he could be a wall, so maybe this isn't the best one for him. I don't know, because I'm thinking Steam, so maybe I'm thinking too general. But at least we know now, right? You guys can make your suggestions on what ability Weezing should have. I mean, it is a poison fairy, so maybe, jeez, I don't know. Poison heal, maybe? I feel like it has to involve fire, because like it has the whole chimney thing. Anyway, we're gonna go continue onward. We also got Galarian Zigzagoon, who is a dark normal type with the pickup ability and the gluttony ability. Zigzagoon looks a lot better now, because like the original form of course is brown and white. This one has like black and white, and the eyes, around the eyes at least, kind of has like a black starry look, which looks pretty cool. He actually looks like a raccoon for the first time. And then like, here we go, we also have Galarian Zigzagoon, which looks pretty cool too. Has more looks like a badger. And yeah, again, I like this a lot better. It also kind of looks like a skunk, honestly. Cause Zigzagoon and Lanoon I never pretty much gravitated towards. If anybody, like, if anything, and pretty much people use this just for HM slaves alone, and that's pretty much it. Cause it could only get you so far. Like, I get more use out of a Mightyena, but even still, like, late game, it doesn't really do too well. So that's kind of the way I look at Lanoon. You know, that's pretty much Route 1 Pokemon in general, besides like the bird Pokemon. The bird Pokemon usually does well, and Luxray. And I always like that the new forms for that region is always kind of depicted like this is what it's supposed to be originally. Like that's how it was for Executor, because they're like, this is what Alolan Executors or just Executors in general should look like. And that's what I feel like for Lanoon, at least. That's what they're supposed to be looking like. You know, and it also probably goes for Muck as well, and all the other Pokemon. Like, that's what they're supposed to look like, except for Meowth and Persian, and it's a bit weird. I could understand Rattata, but Raticate looks weird, but I would agree that that's what they're supposed to look like as well. Anyway, and the newest thing that it has to offer actually is Galarian Lanoon actually evolves, and it turns into this thing, which is called Obstagoon, dark normal type still, and it has the ability of Reckless and Guts. And this Pokemon I honestly want to use, kind of. This is pretty cool. Like, the patterns are awesome too. It's black and white. It has like the white X on his shoulders. You know that people are a sucker for X's when it comes to body parts for some reason, but regardless, it's still a really cool concept. I really like the way that they designed it. I would never think that they would add another evolution to Lanoon. I think they might have in ROM hacks. I can't really think of one at the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it happened. And it also reminds me of a few Pokemon, but the most that it sticks out in my head is like Zoroark, maybe a mixture of Zoroark and Mightyena, which is ironic. What else? It reminds me of something else. It definitely reminds me of Uranium Pokemon too. I'll probably put it on screen. It's like one of the early Pokemon as well. I think now that I think about it, maybe it was Uranium that has like the Lanoon evolution. I'm not really sure. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. And then we see Obstagoon in battle against a Beware. It's doing like its own signature move, or maybe that was just a transition. I'm not really sure. Either way, a form-changing Pokemon discovered in Galar, which is a brand new Pokemon, and his name is Morpeko, the full belly mode. He kind of does like a running hamster move. I don't think this is the Pokemon that was displayed here, because this is a squirrel and Morpeko is not a squirrel, it's a hamster kind of. Electric dark type, and the ability is Hunger Switch. Now what this means pretty much, and I'm not really sure on the specifics, but once it gets hungry, it becomes hangry. So it's a Morpeko hangry form. Aura Wheel moves changes from electric to dark type. So I guess Aura Wheel is the Pokemon move. I was confused on that. I thought the ability made it so it's exclusively dark type, which could still be the case. But who knows? Maybe it's it's still electric dark even in hangry mode. But someone give this thing a Snickers. Like I'm pretty sure 100%, if not 99.9% of people are just gonna call this either Snickers or hangry. Either one or the other, or some dumb pun. I don't know. I like this Pokemon. I like it a lot. I just, every quick glance, like every double take I look at this thing, I think of Pikachu, because that's kind of what it looks like. I mean, it is one of those electric rodents, and they always have to do it. You know they do. Let me look at the specifics on Hungry Switch. I imagine that's just like wishy-washy, where if it gets to a certain point, it would change to this form, because it could be by health, it could be by time. I'm not really sure. It's not really telling me. I don't know if this is accurate or not, because it doesn't really display all that much information in the page. Maybe I should look up on a different page. But it says a Morpeko with Hungry Switch will change between his full belly mode and hangry mode every turn. So it flip-flops every single time. My first thoughts when I saw this Pokemon, I'm all like, how is this gonna work? Like, it's gonna be like cheek pouch? Would it have like a, if you give it a berry to hold, would it not be in hangry mode if it eats it? Like, and then like it would somehow get another berry, and then you could just keep on doing that? Or like, how do you get hungry and then not hungry and then hungry again in just that short amount of time? I don't know. I don't understand. I'm not really sure. According to Cerebi, it says Hungry Switch changes Morpeko's form, changes Morpeko's Aurora Wheel attack from electric to dark type. So it's mostly just saying what it is in the trailer. That, I mean, I already know that, but does it have any other effects besides just changing the attacking move from electric to dark? I don't know. I'm spending too much time on this. I was kind of looking at the specifics on how it just decides to be hungry, is what I'm saying, or hangry I should say. Anyway, you see the look of Hangry Mang over here attacking a Mimikyu with some Dark Pulse attack, or maybe that was Aurora Wheel. Compete with new rivals! And then there's this guy. I honestly don't like this guy. He has like a smug look on his face. I don't know, man. His name is Bead. He has a great ball, and he gets out of... I get them confused all the time. The Reuniclus... Oh, it's Solosis, duh. It's been a long time since I ever said that name. I remember saying Duosion and Reuniclus, but yeah, he has a Solosis. So I don't know if he's mainly a psychic user. Honestly, the multiple rival thing didn't work before with X and Y. Like I like, honestly, I didn't mind it. I just didn't like the Trevor kid, or who's the one with the bowl cut? I don't know. I didn't really like him. Tierna I got used to. Even Shawn I got used to, even though people hated her. And then there's Serena. But then when it comes to this game, we already have Hop. That's confirmed our rival, even though he's going to be like the easy rival where he gets the Pokemon that's weak to you. But Bead, I don't know. I don't really like him so far. But then there's this girl. Her name is Marnie, which she is pretty cool, honestly. She has like the Hangry Mang over here, except he's pretty full. Good for you. You've been feeding your thing. But regardless, they're in some kind of house. Actually, yeah, Bead's in a canyon. This kind of house I can't really recognize where they're currently at. Some kind of elevator next to it. But yeah, and then there's this thing. Because Marnie was here, we're introduced to Team Yell, Marnie's wild fans. Which, I mean, come on, let's face it. You know that there's wild fans out here, or else there wouldn't be the Sword and Shield conspiracy. But then there's these guys that take it too far themselves. I don't know. I honestly want to call the people complaining about the graphics Team Yell at this point. So yeah, Team Yell, which is a great concept, honestly, is pretty genius if you really think about it. The fans that really take it too far, if you do anything to their idol, they're gonna bite back. Just imagine these as Shadow the Hedgehog fans, you know. It's pretty clever. The only problem is they can't really do. They could only do so much because they're just wild fans. I mean, it would have to be insanely crazy for them to do anything that would be too far, you know. Because there was Team Skull, and they weren't really much of a threat, but Team Aether was the threat, you know? Everybody else kind of stacked up against, like, getting greater and greater when it comes to the risks, like Team Rocket to Team Aqua and Magma to Team Galactic, which is my more so favorite team. I mean, I like Team Rocket a lot too. And then there's Team Plasma with their, like, royalty and you know, liberation of Pokemon. And then Team Flare was even cool then. Team Skull, not so much. Team Aether was pretty dope, but at the same time, I don't know if you want to consider the Ultra Team Retcon or whatever the freak they're called. But Team Yell, interesting concept. I just don't think they're gonna bring in home the problems. Maybe there's another team, but this has been speculated. It has been like rumored that the team was called Team Yell. I did mention that in a past video. Let's see if I can find that. But yeah, interesting concept. And of course we see this guy with this shirt up too high, or maybe it's too small or something, with the Y horn. I feel like I'm saying right horn wrong, but no, it's literally shaped as a Y. And he gets out a Zigzagoon, Galarian form in a Nest Ball. Or maybe it's a Safari Ball, I can't really tell. Where's this at anyway? It's in the route right here. It's kind of close to the one town, but whatever. We see Team Yell in the building where this guy's like, "Sir, could you guys could you please leave? Like, I don't wanna. You know what's interesting? I never noticed it before, but where the trainer's standing, there's like this other. There's a trainer that's already registered for the gym challenge, so I'm like, what the heck? So that's kind of interesting. And then we see Hop right here, and then Team Yell all reacting to Marnie showing up. I mean, they are fans of him. I mean, just look at that. This girl's in the background cheering for Marnie to battle. So, I don't know how long Marnie's been battling. Maybe this is just a thought that just occurred in my head. Maybe she's the daughter of Chairman Rose, or maybe she's actually a really good trainer, but I feel like she's gonna be pretty early in the game. And that's it for that trailer, but there's actually more to it than that. So next I'm going to show the Japanese trailer, because they actually presented this a whole lot better. They even provided more information and a whole new aspect to Pokemon Sword and Shield that so far nobody even mentioned. So we see that bead guy that we saw earlier that was in the canyon area is now inside this the mine pretty much. So maybe once you go over here towards the end of the mine, you'll see him, and then he actually battles you or something. I'm not really sure. Or maybe he battles you here and then over there. Oh, wait a second, I never noticed that before. I don't know, was that on his legs? Like, I don't know if those are bandages or something. There's something on his legs. He also has like a Rolex for some reason, a purple jacket. Like I said, I don't really like Beat all that much. That's what he looks like in the Japanese trailer. Having all this text, not really sure what he's saying. It'd be nice if it said what it was, but this shows it's on the nighttime, right by that said mines that I was talking about with all the crystals. It's not all Japanese text either, because at some point there is English text later onward that kind of reveals a few things. So this is the battle that I was referring to that's outside the mines, I'm pretty sure, because he probably talks to you, so let's go outside the mines, okay, let's battle or something. But the trainer has a Krogunk right here, and he gets slaughtered by the Solosis with Psyshock, I'm pretty sure. And Beat is talking smack, looking at his Rolex. Of course, there's Team Yell again. Oh, there's a Badoo in the background. Was he always there? He probably already been there. I don't know. This is how they introduced Team Yell, and then there's talking smack outside the mines, might I add, which they didn't show either. Both of these guys are like shouting outside this building right here, and then there's this group right here with the Dreadnought. I don't know if it's theirs or if it's the Doctor's or something, but the Doctor's just chilling in the snow for whatever reason. I think he's just a trainer that once you beat him, he heals your Pokemon. I think it's late game when this is, I don't know, I just have a feeling it's late game, except for like the Dreadnought thing. I don't know. Maybe Dreadnought just doesn't evolve. Because there is that Gigantamax form that I was talking about. Of course, Zigzagoon, this is how they introduce him. And then we see like the female trainer with Linoon, Galarian form. We also see that they battle them in the town. I mean, we already know that you battle the team members multiple times. So there's in the brick city. I don't think it's the main town, but it's an entrance to some town. There's also Marenia that the trainer's using. So there's that. Hey look, there's another trainer back there. Actually, I see two. There's two gym challengers in the background. Because there's one like right underneath if you just look through Marnie's hair. I don't know, I do like Marnie. Marnie is pretty cool. So I guess I'm a Team Yell person too, I suppose. But this is how they introduced Marnie, which is a lot better because they introduced Marnie first and then Team Yell, which they could have done it the other way around. It was like, well, who is Team Yell rooting for? Oh, it's this person. So yeah, they do present it well, and then they're in this building, which looks pretty cool because there's like some golden knight in the background. Obviously, it's me, but regardless, I don't know. It's still interesting nonetheless. We do know it's the same building as maybe where Marnie is introduced to begin with, because there is the statue right to your right here. So we kind of see that the trainer in this part has like Sobble as his Pokemon. And this is how they introduce Hangry Mang with the quick attack. He changed to Hangrier Mang. It's with the waifu pose. This is why Team Yell likes her so much. And now one thing that they didn't show in the regular trailer is that you see all this other stuff. There's like the Hoot Hoot bookstore or whatever this is. That'd be dope if there's a Galarian Hoot Hoot. It probably is, I don't know. There's like a Lapras thing right here. And then like I mentioned that there's like the C with the wrench earlier, and then we see like the C with like the railroad or ladder or whatever that's supposed to be. I'm pretty sure that's railroad. But this is the starting of PokeJobs. This is what everybody like. There's been speculation of what these logos possibly could be, because we did see like right here we see the C with the wrench and then the C with the ladder or railroad or whatever it is, and it's just jobs that you could do. I'm not sure what kind of prizes they provide for you for doing this, or what is this for, but it has your Pokemon helping out to do this certain assignment that you're going to be doing. It doesn't really explicitly say. I'm guessing that you just work for them. Maybe you just work for them in the bookstore, or maybe you deliver something that's crossing the water, or delivering them through the lands or something like that. I feel like most of it's delivery and repairing, and I'm not really like, that's where I'm stumped on. I don't know what you could possibly do at a bookstore in a Pokemon game. I don't know. They selected the wrench one. Oh no, the Red Sea with the railroad. And then you see your group of Pokemon. You know, honestly, this trainer has a pretty good selection of Pokemon. I don't see the starter for whatever reason, because you have like a Golurk, Corviknight, Roly-Poly. I'm forgetting his name. Yeah, it is Roly-Poly. Diglett for some reason. At least it's not like a lowland Diglett with his whiskers on his head. And Hangry Mang. And of course, like, there's some Minecraft background, so maybe they're going to play Minecraft or something. But either way, there's like a Rotom Pokédex, which is different color. This could be like what, you know, the Switch Pokédex Rotom looks like. It's white and red, I guess. It's kind of feminine too. So if I don't know if you choose the gender or if it is just like that depending on who you pick. Like if you're male, would it just be a male Pokédex or what? I don't know. But yeah, and then all the Pokemon turn around and it throws me off because Hangry Mang turns to orange, but no, it's because it's 50-50 black and 50-50 orange or brown or whatever you want to call it. Pretty sure it's brown. And then they come back and then they kind of cheer or whatever because they kind of finished their job. The trainer didn't even go with them. They just did it for them. And then you see Diglett and Golurk cheering for whatever reason. But of course, Hangry Man isn't cheering, but Corviknight and Roly-Poly isn't either. I guess because, I don't know, Diglett and Golurk did all the work, I suppose. victory, I suppose. I'm not really sure what it says. Here's a different view on like the right side of the main town with some lights on the top, and there's some rocks over, and then we did see like a Galarian Zigzagoon in the grass. And this is what I'm talking about, where they show a little bit more in this trailer. Braviary right here, some Lanoons and Purloins, which is interesting, and a Galarian Weezing, which is the first introduction for this video, for PokeJob Japanese trailer video. And they're doing like certain attacks right here. They're doing an explosion, and then this is where they introduce the Galarian Zigzagoon to Lanoon, to his evolution. And like, this is what I'm talking about, where they just presented it so much better in this trailer, where they saving the best for last, where this would be a huge, you know, drop of the mic moment. There was something I did not notice that I saw before, but in this PokeJob trailer for Japan, or is Japanese I suppose, they're offering the double pack for Sword and Shield, and if you do this, you get yourself a starting Larvitar and Jangmo, which is cool. And you also get, like, you know, your Quick Ball, like a certain set of Quick Balls to start your journey off. And they usually do this. They did this for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire with like a shiny Beldum. I didn't get the opportunity to do it, but it's still cool nonetheless. And you also have like this collector's item right here, which is pretty cool. And then yeah, all this other stuff, really cool. There's this one thing that I don't remember where it was at, but there was like the Chairman Rose that was in disguise inside this water gym, and I can't find it. I know I saw it, but he's like hidden somewhere, even though it's not hidden well, because he's wearing a hat with his logo on it. So I'm like, I don't know. He's wearing glasses. And then another thing is, he's with the secretary, so it's not like it's hiding much. But yeah, that's pretty much all the trailers that I wanted to show off. You know, there was a lot to this, a lot of information, but very short videos, you know, where there was Gigantamax forms when it comes to Crimea and Dreadnought and Corviknight, and then like the Galarian forms when it comes to Weezing, and strangely not Coughing, so I guess Coughing evolves into Galarian Weezing, which is interesting. And then of course Galarian Zigzagoon and Lanoon and Obstagoon, and of course PokeJobs, and then 2 new gyms, which by the way I didn't even mention, but the fighting gym is in Pokemon Sword, and Alistair for the Ghost Gym is going to be in Pokemon Shield. They're not like in the same game, they're separate games, which is interesting. And of course there's like brand new Pokemon as well. As I already mentioned, there is Crimea. I know I'm saying that name wrong, but oh well. Hangry Mang is important. And yeah, of course Roly-Coly, Duraludon, and the first introduction to Yamper, even though we already knew about him. Of course, like I said, there was 2 other Pokemon that I was saving for later. You guys already know who it is because I have yet to talk about them. But that's going to be it. The next video is going to be the 600 subscribers special. But besides that, for the next Sword and Shield video, hopefully now I could get to a point where I could talk about that second half, but more likely not, because I know for a fact that there's got to be something in August 31st. I'm pretty sure there's a trailer on that day, because it was hinted upon with trailers, as you see, like the jersey that I pointed out before kind of points out the release dates for the trailers or the game or whatever, or the anniversary. So I might not get to that, I don't know. If I do, I do. If I don't, I'm sorry. And yeah, that's going to be it. White Tigers and Dragons see you, and you've been scarred by the night. I'm out.